Thanks for choosing KRTV this evening. I'm Shannon Newth. Montana education leaders are recommending school districts extend distance learning through the end of the school year and not hold large in-person graduation ceremonies. That recommendation comes in a letter sent by the Office of Public Instruction, the Board of Public Education, and the Montana Public Education Center to county and district superintendents. This letter cites National Health Authority recommendations that social distancing guidelines be in place through May and possibly into the summer. According to the letter, recommendations aim to provide guidance for the planning and remainder of the academic year and to make sure students are recognized for their work. Governor Bullock's school closure and stay-at-home order right now are set to expire on April 24th. In looking at the latest coronavirus cases in Montana, according to the governor's coronavirus task force, there are now 365 confirmed cases in the Treasure State. One of the new cases is in Glacier County, bringing their total to 3. Cascade County has 12 cases. The latest, reported earlier this week, is a man in his 30s. Total deaths remain at 6. 3 of those have come in Toole County. In total, 41 people have been hospitalized. 165 have recovered. The $2 trillion Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES, impacts all Americans in some form. The Montana Ag Network's Lane Nordland shares how the relief funding will aid agriculture.
Thursday, President Trump, in a tweet and during a coronavirus task force press conference, discussed how his administration will be sending financial relief to the nation's farmers and ranchers who have all been impacted by COVID-19.
You see what's happened. The farmers got hurt very badly by all of this. People are eating less from the standpoint that there's no restaurants are open, no businesses are open, no hotels are open. They'll start to come back, but we're going to be helping out our farmers.
The CARES Act includes $49 billion, or just under 2.5% of the $2 trillion measure for agriculture-related provisions. The act provides a total of $24.6 billion, or 50% of the total ag funding for domestic food programs like SNAP and child nutrition programs. Funding specifically for production agriculture includes the Commodity Credit Corporation, which bolsters the commodity and income support programs, was replenished with $14 billion. Add that to current funds on hand, the CCC will have $24 billion to assist producers. In addition, there is also $9.5 billion in direct assistance for producers available.
Then they set aside $9.5 billion for livestock and farmers market type things, but primarily livestock, which normally doesn't qualify for any of the commodity relief plans. We just look forward to that money coming. Of course, we just want markets that are fair. We don't necessarily need government money, but we do need some help right now because things are so upside down.
Just how will that funding be allocated? Agriculture groups have all weighed in on the eligibility criteria for the funding they would like to see, but it's expected that early next week, USDA will announce the final details. Reporting, Lane Nordland, MTN News.
Great Falls Job Service officials say they received more than 2,000 unemployment insurance claims last week. They want to let the public know their computer system has been reprogrammed to handle the amount of these new filings. User PINs have also been reset, and those who are self-employed can now file a claim as well. Manager Beth Schmidt told MTN many applicants are applying for unemployment for the first time. She's hearing questions around federal funding in the stimulus package that provides $600 weekly payments to those collecting unemployment insurance benefits.
If you have already filed a claim that is in process or you filed a claim that you're currently receiving benefits, you do not need to take any additional action to receive that additional $600 per week.
Schmidt says they have no timeline for when those federal funds will be distributed. They can be reached online, over the phone, and by email. Those details are also on our website. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to put its mark on history as there will be no horse racing in Great Falls this summer. Combined with the cancellation of the bucking horse sale in Miles City, it's believed that Montana will be without any organized horse race for the first time since the 1800s. Our Isaiah Dunk has more.
This is what the scene at the horse racetrack at Montana Expo Park is supposed to look like in late July. 5 days, hundreds of horses, thousands of fans, the biggest horse race in the state. But that won't be happening this year. The Great Falls Turf Club announced Thursday that the 2020 state race meet is canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Club president Sparky Kotke said the group began to worry in late February.
Like somebody I heard say, it's like a 100-year epidemic going on here, something that probably won't happen again in my lifetime. So yeah, we never had any idea anything like this would ever happen. Yeah.
There were a lot of factors to consider. Obviously public health, but also finances. With many businesses struggling just to stay afloat, asking the usual sponsors for money was simply not going to happen.
We've had some calls from some horsemen and that type of thing, and they're not real happy, but I think most people understand that it's the right thing to do at this time. It was a tough decision, and we hate to not race this year, but I think for what's going on in our community and our world, it's the best thing for us here in Great Falls.
In Great Falls, Isaiah Dunk, MTN News.
Now, there is some good news, though. By canceling this year, the club won't take a hit financially. They should be safe for next summer. The club will meet with Cascade County Commissioners and the Montana Board of Horse Racing later this fall to set up the 2021 races. Well, a winter storm is on its way to north central Montana with cold and snow in the forecast. That starts tonight. Brandon joins us now with the very latest.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon. We're tracking a cold front moving through the area this evening. It's actually, for the most part, already pushed through north central Montana. Behind that, some rain, eventually going to be turning into snow. We take a look at the temperatures right now. It actually was warm fairly early in the day, but our temperature is dropping a good about 10 degrees already here in Great Falls, and is going to continue to drop behind that front. We're also seeing the rain really starting to light up the Doppler network right now. The snow for now is confined into the mountains, but we are going to be seeing that changeover through the night tonight as we continue to see our temperatures dropping. So we do have a winter storm warning in effect for a good portion of our area ahead of this system moving in. We're looking at heavy snow, 4 to 8 inches in the plains where that winter storm warning is in effect, more than that in the mountains. Also got that winter weather advisory for parts of the Highline. So let's kind of time this out. We're going to use Great Falls here. Rain and snow chances. Pretty much rain through about 8 p.m. As we head closer to midnight, we're looking at some snow mixing in, and then as we get after midnight, it's going to be mostly snow, and that's when the heavier snow is going to start to fall. And it's not just snow we're tracking, though. We're going to be talking about all the impacts of this storm coming up later.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks, Brandon. Today, Northwestern Energy announces that plans to repurpose the original Rainbow Dam powerhouse along the Missouri River fell through. Without a plan in place for the old hydro facility, that building is now scheduled to be demolished this fall. MTN's Matt Hosapple has the latest on the fate of the powerhouse that stood for over a century.
On Friday, California-based software company Sustain Incorporated told Northwestern Energy that it would not lease the original Rainbow Dam powerhouse in Cascade County. As plans for a new data center fell through, so did almost a decade's worth of work to find a new use for the original powerhouse.
Every possibility to repurpose the facility has been explored. We have worked in a partnership with the volunteers that are Cascade County Historical Preservation Old Rainbow Powerhouse Repurposing Committee.
Without a plan to repurpose the original facility, it will be demolished in the fall.
With this development from Sustain, Northwestern Energy has notified FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission that oversees our permit to run a hydro facility on the Missouri River, that Northwestern does intend to proceed with a plan to raise the original Rainbow Powerhouse. The demolition of this facility is expected to begin this fall.
The original building was decommissioned in 2014 after the completion of a new powerhouse 1 year earlier. Northwestern Energy attributes the difficulty in finding a partner to repurpose the old facility to its location, among other things.
The challenges for that include safety and security restrictions because of the facility's remoteness and location on the Missouri River, as well as the fact that it's on site with an active hydro operation, limited the type of project that could potentially use this building.
Northwestern Energy will continue to work with the Cascade County Historical Preservation Old Rainbow Powerhouse Repurposing Committee to find ways to put elements of the old powerhouse on display in Cascade County. In Great Falls, Matt Hosapple, MTN News.
Northwestern Energy took over operations of the Rainbow Hydro facility back in 2014 when they purchased the facility from PPL Montana. Up next, we're open. How one Great Falls flower shop is hoping business will blossom during the coronavirus outbreak.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Welcome back. When we think of essential businesses, facilities like grocery stores, healthcare workers, or healthcare facilities rather, and other mainstays of our daily life come to mind. But according to Governor Bullock, several other sectors are also included within that essential business description, like businesses related to agriculture. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt tells us why the Electric City Conservatory has been firmly planted in their decision to stay open.
Electric City Conservatory is considered an essential business because of their on-site greenhouse that allows them to grow plants for the public. But that's not why owner Megan Kelly chose to keep her doors open.
I choose to stay open basically because I think my customers need me more now than they ever have.
Kelly believes brightening someone's day with a bouquet can make all the difference.
In my eyes, I think we're essential because when people are sitting in a retirement home or wherever, sad because of what's going on, they can't get out, you send them some flowers. I mean, at least it'll put a smile on their face.
Sending smiles and flowers is what the conservatory is all about. But it's hard to do so when there's no customers in store.
It's been slower because people don't want to go outside, but we have, we're getting a few phone calls, people wanting to send their parents flowers. With Easter coming this weekend, a lot of people are wanting to send flowers, from out of state and stuff. So we're getting that, but we're not getting the foot traffic, as normal like we usually would.
Fortunately, the conservatory will be getting a big plant shipment at the end of the month to get things growing. It might not look like it right now, but by next month, this greenhouse will be blooming and business could be booming. As long as the plants and patrons keep coming in, Kelly is hopeful the conservatory and customers will thrive.
We're going to keep going and keep trying to make sure that, we're here for everybody. We just want people to know, we're not going anywhere.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Electric City Conservatory will be open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the time being. Well, hands-on learning right now is really not possible because students are out of school, but for the high school house, things also look a little bit different. CM Russell High School students and Great Falls High are having to take their hands-on activity to online. They've been learning from videos sent from their teacher, Pete Pace.
Think of the trades, you often think of the hands-on learning environment that's important, but just as important as doing the hands-on work, there are a lot of calculations to calculate how much concrete you need, how much material you need, how much paint you need. So we've been doing a lot of things like that.
The high school house is expected to have their open house May 18th, which was the date they had originally set. There is some talk, though, of having a virtual open house. You can check our website for more details.
Well, snow is going to be starting to fall tonight. We're looking at a cold, white Easter this year. We'll have the forecast up next.
Thanks. Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with meteorologist Brandon Michaels.
Got a winter storm heading our way. It's not looking like a winter storm right now. It's just looking like a little bit of spring rain, and it's going to stay that way for a while, but we are going to see the snow catching up with us shortly. You're already seeing that falling in the mountains. You can see kind of that blue shade already filling in along the divide. We're going to jump right into future track and start to time some things out here. It's going to take a while for this cold air to push in. Oftentimes, models are a little bit too slow to push in the cold air. This time has been pretty much the opposite. It's been taking quite some time to get the cold air in, but by 9 p.m. we're already starting to see some of that snow fill in parts of Glacier County, northern Toole, Liberty counties. Most of us still dealing with rain. Not much going on in northeast Montana, and we continue to see that line march off to the south through the evening hours. I think by midnight, we're probably going to be getting pretty close to some snow mixing in Great Falls, probably a little bit less rain than what's being shown on the Doppler network there, and definitely as we get after midnight, this is going to be mostly a snow event, and it's going to linger for quite some time. We're looking at heavy snow between about 4 to 8, so as you wake up tomorrow morning, you're probably going to be seeing a good amount of snow on the ground. Still tracking the snow through the day, even into the late afternoon, early evening hours. We've got some snow showers. It's going to be clearing up from north to south through the evening. By about midnight, most of us are done with the snow, and then we'll actually get some clearing as we head through the day on Sunday. until another round of very light, not significant showers moves in for Easter. So there's a lot going on here. Let's go through the snowfall forecast. Made a couple of minor changes since yesterday, but this event has been a pretty high confidence event since it's started. So about 6 to 10 for Lewistown, 5 to 8 for Great Falls, going 3 to 6 for Cutbank. Higher totals as you get closer to the Rocky Mountain front from Cutbank, though. 1 to 3 for Havre and Harlem, 3 to 6 for Hayes. And then again, not too much going on in northeast Montana. Let's talk about the mountain passes. Hopefully these aren't coming into play too much with limited travel through the weekend. But about 6 to 10 for Marias Pass into the Little Belts, parts of Kings Hill Pass, over a foot of snow. Rogers Pass 8 to 12, 5 to 8 for McDonald Pass. It's not just snow though. We're tracking quite a few other impacts with rain falling right now and some wet snow going to be making the roads wet, and then temperatures falling below freezing. Icy roads, a definite possibility with snow on top of that and with blowing snow on top of that. That's something else we're tracking. Some stronger winds with the forecast, and then of course just cold temperatures. They've already seen a pretty good drop in our temperatures across north central Montana, and they're going to continue to drop. So let's talk about the winds right now. You can see to the north already getting breezy by midnight tonight. That's probably where we're going to start to see that change over to snow first through the day tomorrow, at least through the morning hours when we're seeing that heavier snow. We're looking at wind gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour. So some strong winds blowing and drifting snow all across the area. It's going to be very reduced visibility, especially tomorrow morning, and temperatures are going to be dropping through the day too. So here's about what we're looking at midnight. Most of us are in the mid-30s in general. That's cold enough to support snow. A little bit warmer off to the east. By tomorrow morning, we're looking at temperatures that are below freezing, and we're actually going to continue to see temperatures fall off a little bit through the day. So off to the west, we're mainly looking at 20s, a little bit warmer off to the east. But in general, a cold day for our Saturday. Of course, there's a lot more going on with this storm too. We're going to host a little Q&A on Facebook Live on the Storm Tracker weather page at 8 p.m. this evening to cover anything I may have missed or answer questions that you do have. Again, heavy snow for tomorrow, some wind, temperatures dropping through the day all the way down to 5 by Saturday night. Mostly sunny for Easter with just a couple of flurries here and there. And then we do slowly warm up through the forecast, a mix of sun and clouds for Thursday, and then closer to average for Thursday and Friday. Shannon?
Thanks, Brandon. We've seen impact of the coronavirus and subsequent closures in just about every facet of life. Up next, Tom Wiley explores how a canceled game is affecting more than just competition.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KRTV, Montana's news leader.
Thanks for staying with us. The COVID-19 pandemic has prevented many around the country from engaging in some of their favorite pastimes, including those in the most vulnerable age groups. Tom Wiley shows us how stay-at-home guidelines have impacted the local bridge club in Great Falls.
Well, it might sit empty right now, but before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the Big Sky Bridge Club, there were nightly games here featuring dozens from the senior community in Great Falls. The club members miss the competition, but they also miss their friends.
Almost everyone who plays bridge is in the age group that we're really concerned about. Yeah, you get to be really good friends. You get to, we're of an age where we need help. We're always there for each other. So it's been a big blast to us to not play bridge.
Bridge is more than just a game and a pastime. For many in Great Falls, it helps them stay sharp.
It really keeps your mind going. You know, I think as you're growing older, you think about being physical and taking care of your body. That mind's part of the body.
Losing the game this way is tough, but there's optimism that it could all end up being a net positive. More time at home for the population means more time for people to pick up a new game. So why not bridge?
Yeah, bridge is really fun for everybody and competitive. We have sit-down lessons here in normal times, but you can learn online. They have great tools online, a good website to go to for anybody can learn from there.
Numbers in the club have declined over the years, but when things return to normal, Sherrick says the Big Sky Bridge Club will keep its doors open and there's room at the table for everybody.
It's a game that kids can play, that you can learn as a teenager. Most of us in my generation learned in college or learned in high school, and we've been playing it all our lives. There was sort of a hiatus in there where people didn't play games. Now we're back to playing games. So it's going to change us a little bit, but we're going to have fun.
Reporting in Great Falls, Tom Wiley, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Tom. And if you want to learn how to play bridge, you can find resources on the American Contract Bridge League website. We've shared that link at krtv.com. We're back with a final look at your wintry weekend forecast right after this.
Welcome back. We are tracking a winter storm, of course, heading our way. That means a very snowy Saturday. Let's take a look at the weekend forecast. It's not looking very nice. 33 is our high on Saturday, and I think that's probably right about midnight. Most of the afternoon, we're going to be in the 20s in Great Falls with heavy snow falling through the day, especially early. We do clear out a little bit for Easter Sunday, but it's still pretty cold.
And finally, for the second year in a row, a pair of Canadian geese have taken up residence in the osprey nest display at Montana Wild in Helena. While the display is an actual osprey nest, it hasn't been used by the birds of prey since when it was removed from a dismantled cell tower in the area. Geese and osprey conflict is not unheard of, though. The nest at Ogren Park at Allegiance Field, home of the Missoula Paddleheads, formerly Osprey, was taken over by geese for a short period of time back in 2013. Montana Wild's asking that people be respectful and give the geese some space if they come to see them. Well, at least, reuse, recycle the nest there.
Keeping it going.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.